Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Road to BlizzCon EU 2015. I'm Grubby, and with me is Todd, and we're bringing to you the final game of today, of the opening day, so to speak, the precursor to tomorrow's great stage matches and actual main event.
Yeah, after years of competing against each other in Warcraft 3, 10 years later, we're back to commentate another Blizzard game which contains Warcraft 3 heroes. Who would have known?
Well, we have to work together now, but we've done it before in some 2-on-2 matches in Warcraft 3, quite a record.
Best team ever.
So the team that loses here gets eliminated, and we want to kind of jump straight into the draft. The day has been dragging on for longer for some of these teams, so they were antsy to get started. And let's just look right away at the bans here, Todd.
Yeah, Fnatic opened with the Lyric ban here against Gamers 2. Gamers 2 quickly replied with the Kel'Thas ban, and then Uther was first picked. Fnatic, this is one of their niche picks here. Uther, they love to open with it in almost every single draft here, and usually it's Wooby that's playing it. It's funny, like if Wooby gets Uther, then he plays support, but if they get another support, somebody else plays it actually.
Okay. It's Cassil that otherwise plays support, right? I think it's Cassil, but anyway, so Uther, what I really like about Uther in the drafts is that it gives you almost the entire hero pool as draft options, because any hero that sucks really bad, like it gets easily killed, it can just be safe with Divine Shield, which means it can do its fullest potential of damage.
Like Butcher, Illidan, all of these guys.
Kerrigan, Sonya, exactly those kind of characters.
So Jaina and Muradin here were quickly picked up behind this from Gamers 2, and now we have Arthas and Tyrann. There's some serious stun lock here coming into play on Cursor from Fnatic. They're going to want to go for what looks like so far a full CC comp, and they wanted to make sure they got that Tyrann in before the second binding phase as well. Yeah,
and so far, of all the 7 heroes that have something done to them, either a ban or a pick, no Johanna yet. Now, what we're looking, before we talk about the draft here for Gamers 2, the ban, what Fnatic has is great pick-off potential, but what they don't have yet is wave clear. If you cannot clear your waves quickly enough, you also cannot really be allowed to roam over the map. So look for those to be picked up. Gamers 2 are not going to remove one of those great wave clear champs. They're going to remove Raynor, which gives some possibility for them to go on the mass warriors route.
Yeah, it's getting really interesting here already between these two on this draft. Not your typical draft, I feel like.
No.
Because Fnatic, they had a very clear idea of what they wanted to go into. They're just going to bet the Abathur here against Gamers 2. Definitely one of the safe things that you need to do, especially on Cursed Hollow. Probably the best map for Abathur.
Yeah. Cursed Hollow, Blackheart Bay, the really big maps where it's difficult to rotate all the way to the top lane to stop that pesky Abathur push. And it's very safe for him to hide in lots of bushes here and there on the map. But let's see. Gamers 2, they now have to start giving major shape to their composition. These two could be considered roughly neutral picks, but now they have to decide where they want to go. Kharazim, Divine Palm, great counter to pick off. What's next?
I think a Johanna or a Zagara here would be very solid. It's two of the strongest heroes. You know, I always talk about how everybody kind of has their tier list, even though some people will kind of say otherwise. Everybody in their mind have like heroes that they think are the best, and I do feel like right now in Heroes of the Storm, these two are going to be some of the strongest. But Sonya,
wow,
who's become such a huge part of the meta here, gets picked up finally. Finally, we see her in the draft instead of getting bans.
Yeah, and the Raynor pick suddenly makes sense because we do have that warrior expansion that we were talking about. Raynor with great sustained damage and the Giant Killer pickup at 13 is fantastic against warriors. Could be another warrior there at the very end. Which one does G2 want? Does Fnatic want to take that one away? Maybe Johanna is almost a no-brainer?
If they want to play with 3 warrior, yeah. I mean, if Gamers 2 wanted to play with 3 warrior and Fnatic thought that they were going to do that, but in this case, Fnatic, they're just going to go for the Vala.
Vala, solid damage, very mobile, very versatile, but you can't really solo tank Arthas, can you? Or maybe we'll be shown that you can?
Actually, with Tyrann and Uther, I guess you can, but yeah, he's going to have to...
It's hard to engage upon the opponent with just Arthas. I guess it could work if you get a melee assassin instead.
If you go Sintra Koza, you can, but then you won't have any kind of sustain, because then you won't have Army of the Dead. So Anub'arak gets picked up here.
Okay, makes sense. I always like Anub'arak with Bed of Barbs against mass melee, but we see a lot of Urticating Spines. Not another warrior, unless you count Olaf. We got Vikings coming out here. So
Three more warriors.
3 more. They only took Eric. Big mistake. You saw the portrait? Yeah. Anyway.
Such a great joke.
So Vikings kind of they're the equivalent replacement / of what Abathur normally does. It's kind of a cool pick since they did remove Abathur. So they're going to get that Vikings instead.
A very out of the ordinary draft here, I feel, from both of these teams. And we see Fnatic's profile here. They've already got quite a few losses here, maybe a bit more than most other teams. They haven't been doing as well as the top European teams, but definitely are very high up there in terms of being a potential contender to eventually rise up and do really well in some of these tournaments here.
Still a little bit worried for Fnatic's comp there. Also, whether this guy can see the monitor. His name is Niker. Yeah?
In every game, there is a guy wearing glasses. In Broodwood was Elki. In Warcraft 3, it was Titan from Russia. And now we got Niker from Poland.
Yeah. So top picks here, Zagara, you were mentioning it a little bit already. Lots of creep, spread and vision. Was not the follow-up though, with Vikings instead. They don't have Uther either. 17-7, a similar record here. Not among the very top dogs who had something like 14-3, 9-2, that kind of thing. So they've had their fair share of, let's call it, chances to learn and advance.
Yeah, and we're playing on Cursolo, which is Gamers2 most played and most certainly favorite map as well. So Fnatic here, they definitely need to open strong here against the Gamers2, who are going to be playing with one of their favorite niche picks here, Vikings. But not only that, there is a Sonya as well in this draft.
Yeah.
Things got crazy very quickly here in this match.
Yeah, it did. It's going to be pretty fun to watch. He's also chosen the Super Sonya skin, the pink version, which I'm very happy about personally. I personally believe it combines well with Nexus Charger, the pink one. Thumbs up. Feels good about this.
Yeah, Leo from Korea here, our support from Gamers2.
Turns out not to be Korean, in a big shocker that upset the gaming world.
Quite the character, though. He's a funny guy.
Yeah. All right. Wabi there. Breeze there. Breeze there. The loudest player at this event.
Even
you
though
wouldn't
he's the
say
smallest.
it. Yeah. The smallest, the youngest. And he seems really sweet. But then when he plays, he really has a lot of energy, which is great for the photographers and videographers. And we'll probably see that on the stage tomorrow.
All his demons come out when he plays.
Yeah. Some people play the piano, He does play games. Game is starting. And I am the observer, so I should observe. First time today.
Oh, you're going to do great, I'm sure.
Thank you very much for the vote of confidence. We've got the Vikings spreading out at the top and the middle, which allows this 4-man group raiding party here at the bottom. And Anubarak doesn't know what's going to hit him, potentially. But he's being safe. He's not saying, let's check the bush here at the bottom by myself. This is the most interesting point. Now, the Sentinel reveals a little bit. It kind of flew to the top left. It didn't exactly reveal rotations, but...
Yeah. Usually what you do here when you open up a game like this and you go on your lane is that you only look at the minimap in the very start to see how many heroes you can count on the map. If you count 3 to 4, then you know that you're safe on your lane.
But what do they actually see, Fnatic? They see Vikings top and mid lane and not at bottom. So it's kind of a... It's kind of a surprise party that you tell the birthday boy about.
Oh, he actually...
Please act surprised, okay? Please act surprised.
Breeze can, of course, burrow charge out of there here if he were to be in trouble. And Gamers2, they're just going to rotate onto mid here now, kind of giving up on that position. We had actually Hunter Smart here. Ranger Smart, sorry, picked up on Tyrande on level 1. So definitely going to want to try and look and... I guess burst down some heroes here down the line with a lot of fighting.
And now we have a bit of a counter gank here being set up by Fnatic. Lowell yielding that space against Joey on the Muradin there. Going to go back to where they were. Vikings going to come back in to soak the experience from the top. And we see the rotation go back to the bottom. Note that they did not reveal themselves on the middle lane. So Anubarak doesn't necessarily know their Breeze.
We saw the Vikings actually earlier in the game do really well early on. But then later on, not proving that's useful in terms of, longbow raids and actually helping a lot in the fight. So it's going to be interesting to see in this game if he can actually, over a long time, do a lot. Oh, this was spotted here with an owl.
Wow.
So I think Fnatic, they're going to come back here and try and, I guess, defend.
Yeah, it's a 4 versus 4. Not exactly on neutral territory, but no real defender's advantage. Sonya taking a lot of damage there by the Lunar Flare. Gonna get locked down. Nicker in trouble as well. Burrow charge goes in, and they get 2 takedowns already, potentially more.
Fnatic with a fantastic owl spot their opponents there. They're gonna chase them. They've already killed 3. Just gonna be forced. 4 snipes here, 4 kills. Oh my god, what a cleanup here. They're gonna pull ahead with 1 whole level against the Vikings.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Wow, the power of that Sentinel though, really well placed. It wasn't exactly an uber surprise there, as G2 did take the Watchtower first. They walked through that, so they knew it wouldn't be the other Siege Giant. So it's kind of the obvious thing to do, and yeah, they lost that 4 versus 4.
This tier on the pick already came in handy here.
Yeah.
Really, like, Hunter's Mark helped so much for them to get all of these snipes, and even spotting Breeze is gonna start taking a lot of damage here. He has to pull back Uther. He's taking his time to rejoin the action, just kind of hanging out in the middle of the map here right now.
Yeah, doesn't want to give too much of an advantage to the Vikings, knowing that if they get poked off capturing the tribute too many times, they're going to waste time and going to let Vikings out-soak them. Uther actually heading to the top lane so as to not give the Vikings too much of an experience soaking advantage. They still got that 40% advantage on the way to level 7, but they would be quickly falling even if they wasted too much time here.
Yeah, I think ideally here they're going to want to catch somebody. Stun here lands on 2 heroes from Tyrande. They're going to go down very quickly. All alike. Tyrande died herself. And the Vikings, remember, they're soaking every single lane here while that's happening, in particular in the middle where there's nobody here from Fnatic.
Yeah, nice pick off. Instant death again for Sonya. Rather unlucky as the Lunar Flare did hit her again. And that was a nice 3-for-1 there for Fnatic. But the problem is they're running out of life and mana. Respawn timers are pretty quick. Ziku is coming back in here with the Sonya, misses the Mystical Spear, and they're going to go on Breeze. He didn't have enough life or mana to sustain him out of this world.
Couldn't do anything there, and it's actually already 6 kills to 2 at minute 4. Such an action-packed game here that we're seeing on Curse Hollow between these two.
Yeah. Uther finally coming to rotate more downwards. Tribute goes to G2. And what is their next move?
I think just keep on, playing the same way with keeping the 1 single Viking on every single lane and going around doing some camps. Maybe doing some camps on their own side of the map would be a good idea. Going for a cache here in the middle of the map on that Arthas. They're actually going to get him. Wow, yeah. I didn't expect this was going to happen here, especially with Wooby kind of covering. But in the end, 4 heroes, a little bit too much here for him to be able to get out. Yeah,
it was a nice cover with the Lunar Flare hitting 2 people, but it's just too much of an overpowering might. Love that skin on Tyrande with the fiery sentinels, looks pretty cool.
It's funny to think actually that because of that fight that took place on the bottom right hand side, that's those siege giants, they were never cleared. Only one of them was killed earlier.
Yeah, still cowering in fear. Oh, they're coming back soon.
Oh, they are. And another nice owl here is gonna spot where Nicker and Shihu, how do you say? Sihu. Oh god. All right, you say his nickname whenever he comes into
Just
play.
cue in every time you want the S name. So a small experience advantage now for the Vikings team, for G2 there. Oh, Eric will get taken down. That's going to cost them a little bit. That means that this whole XP wave will not be soaked. And that's going to help them a lot. Suddenly XP advantage on the side of Fnatic.
Kessel is going to get targeted down at the top here. Might be able to make it out here, just barely. It's a 4-on-4. Fnatic, they turn around, they try to take the fight. But for now, G2 are going to have to pull back. And Leo Franco, yeah, is very eager to try and capture that tribute here. As the easy camp across the map was taken here.
Yeah, it's that Viking bribery, spending a single charge off bribery there and putting the pressure on at the perfect time, right when fighting over the top tribute. It's most awkward to try and take it down, and it's going to kill the gate already. Put some damage on the tower. Yeah,
this is great here for G2 here, getting level 10 at about the same time.
Divine Shield had to be expended as well as Strafe. Water Elemental will get taken down, will get used already, as is Wrath of the Berserker, but that's rather a short cooldown heroic. So small advantage there, expending the Divine Shield already, and that one might still not be up when the next tribute is going to be contested for. So a small win there for G2.
How do you like the 7-sided strike?
Let's see, he went 7-sided strike against Arthas and Nubarak. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. It it doesn't do as much damage on Nubarak as possible because he's a low health pool, more of an armor up kind of hero. But so I don't like 100% like it against the pick-off comp, but it's kind of bandwagoning these days.
Ooh, Nicker here went really low. Gonna be able to get out here eventually. We had Wrath of the Berserker here for Sonya as well as the heroic pick. Locust Swarm on the Anubarak and Strafe on the Vala. Other than that, I think it's pretty standard.
Yeah,
Divine Shield, Uther, Starfall, Tyrande, and the Army of the Dead Arthas.
I think you pointed out the weirdest one. Imagine if he could get Divine Palmed. I mean, Monk wasn't in position this time, but
Yeah.
Sonya seems to die a lot this game. How many deaths do we have clocked for her already? 3. Pretty much every time a tribute was fought over. So Divine Palm seems to be good, but maybe they felt like they needed more damage. Now, going for the boss, they definitely can, having taken down Sonya.
Yeah, both teams doing just that, but with a Tyrande on their team here, Fnatic are going to get theirs a lot faster than their opponents. I don't think they have time to rotate across the map and contest the opponents. So they actually just... Well, 2 of them were going to use their Hearthstone here to get a bunch of life and mana back, but in the end, Kessel stayed down on the map here to make sure he can soak at the top.
Yeah, and I like the skill choice for Anubarak at level 7, getting that bed of barbs. I believe it's excellent against that many melee heroes, so pleased to see that. Burden jumping in, trying to get the Stormbolt Thunderclap on Breeze, but will get out of there. Bosses are pushing. Cool thing about the Vikings, they can kind of add damage on that boss without investing too much into it. Not a real full hero like Mene here is contemplating of defending. He's actually going to pull back, afraid of a rotation perhaps on top of him.
It looks like G2 are going to be getting a level 13 a little bit earlier here, even going towards the middle here to try and apply a little bit more pressure. When Mede at bottom is trying to hold on here against this one boss.
Nice Lunar Flare on Jaina. Will take a bit of damage, but no follow-up really possible.
Oh, a very important tribute here. G2, they're already on 2 tributes themselves. They want to go for the curse here, fully knowing that they got level 13 against just 12. Fnatic, I think they want to try and contest here. Get their level 13 themselves. Vala's getting cornered at the bottom. They're going to try to go for the full surround here, not to let her escape.
Oh, well, she still can escape to the left, and there's too much at stake maybe to follow her with everyone. Sonya will try, will miss, will still get pulled. Water Elemental, and that's, yeah, there's no escape.
Oh, Kessel was in range actually to Divine Shield, but I think he got stunned at the last second. 7-sided strike is going to be used ASAP.
And Arthas and Uther in full retreat. You don't want to really engage in a fight where you've already lost your main damage dealer. They're trying to escape. And if they can escape without losing a single character, that would be the dream here. Obviously, it is an awkward position. They are going to get cursed off the back of this, but not losing another hero is the best damage control that they possibly could. Yeah,
when you lose a hero like this early on in the start of a fight, you're usually going to be in trouble and get chased a lot of the time. You're right, by the way. Kessel's on the Uther here. And Wooby actually went for the Tyrande this time around.
Yeah.
Why are you so good at everything you do, Groby?
Well, I didn't know that he sometimes plays Uther. I just knew that he switched away from the support. But you never know with these guys. There's always so much going on that we don't know about.
So modest, Groby.
1.5 level lead here for G2. Pushing in on the keep here. No natural defender's advantage here for Fnatic. The fort isn't doing anything. They could push in, but then again, their Vikings aren't here. They're kind of more trying to play map control than make use of whatever stats advantage they have with the level lead.
That curse actually did so much. That top fort's going down as well. There's an easy camp there. Back check with his Vikings, making sure he can soak as well. G2 with a very strong game here. They kind of struggled early on, but you know, the early game, even if you fall a little bit behind, not the biggest of deals. It's really from, I guess, the mid game when those heroics come into play to the late game where those fights are going to matter a lot more when you have long timers that come into play. That those fights and death are going to be particularly important.
Yeah, exactly. Now we look at Sonya. She's starting to get more survivable. Being able to pick up that stone skin. She does have that ferocious healing and block. Hasn't died for a while already, which is excellent news. What? They gave away the bruisers to 2 Vikings.
Yeah, they got afraid. Happened earlier with the Johanna. That's
they're all here. They just picked up the bruisers. I guess they didn't know if they rotated through the middle, but
yeah,
it happened earlier with that Johanna. That's right.
It's a sick bluff, man. You just go in there like you own it, and people are like, "Oh no, we don't want to die. Just have it. It's okay."
People with guts own the half world, they say, right?
Fnatic perhaps not wanting to particularly go for a fight here. I think not having level 16 can make it very dangerous. They need to take their time here. They need to pick their spots. But Gamers too, they're really taking off experience-wise. They're setting up a trap here.
Yeah, setting up a trap here is excellent. There's a few ways to force a fight when you have a talent advantage. One of them is to actually push in and say, you've got to defend this or you lose a keep or the objective. The other is to set a trap in an unexpected area.
Breeze
doesn't know what's happening. Oh, wow, that was fast.
Yeah,
That was really
good
fast.
reflex here with the burrow charge. Going to be able to get out of there. And now just before level 16 is gained here from Fnatic, G2 push forward a little bit. They do a lot of damage on one of the towers. And I think they might just be pulling back here for now. They got a camp here on their side of the map with the siege camp to clear if they wanted to before the next tribute potentially comes up, which shouldn't be too long. You know, after the curse, there's definitely that little bit of a dead time where it's not going to be coming back up for some time. But
yeah, I believe it's like 2 minutes if the curse was completed and 1 minute otherwise, or something like that. Siku is going to get lunar flared again. There's some kind of homing missile device in this lunar flare from Wubby. Always get Sonya. Now the boss is up again. No real significant advantage.
Fnatic got level 16. I think they realized that some Vikings are going to be missing from this. They're going straight away for it, trying to catch the Jaina.
They will miss the lunar flare. We've got Benediction used for the potential double hammer of justice on Jaina. She goes in her ice block. Divine Palm going in on everyone. Lots of damage being sustained here by GT. They're in full retreat. They're too hurt to continue this fight.
Yeah. Sonya was screaming and spinning. She tries to get away, gets chased down and killed here. And Breeze is just going to burrow charge and gets the Karazim here with a really good snipe. That's going to mean a second tribute here potentially for Fnatic, as well as maybe even double boss here ideally for them.
Yeah, I think you're right. Is there any way that they don't take double boss? They've got a lot of damage already, even as... he stopped for a while.
Yeah, he actually maybe could have gotten it.
I think he used spin to win in the middle, and it cancels out the... I think you're right, he could have gotten it.
What a mistake.
But you cannot spin to win on a single Viking. That's just the way their mechanics work. So an accidental cancel.
G2 are starting their own boss. I don't think they realize that they're going to help Fnatic if they do that, because I don't think they can finish it on time.
Yeah.
Backcheck bought some nice time, by the way, with Eric.
Willpower isn't everything. No matter how much you want that boss, you simply don't deserve it given the game state. And considering you're still a level ahead, you shouldn't get too hopeless about giving away double boss. Whoa. They're rotating back up again. That's quite a surprise. They do see it though, Breeze revealing himself to the minion, so they're gonna have to give up this tribute.
Yeah, that boss has to be defended here by G2, so Fnatic...
I believe this is a bit of a mistake for Fnatic to actually not take a sure boss, pretty much.
Yeah, I think they were afraid that, you know, Tyrande might get sniped here by a few of the G2 players on that side of the map.
I mean, it was her choice to still be up there next to them, so that was her risk to take. But then they also had the Siege Giant, which would, if ignored, kill the keep. So
I really like that Fnatic, they realize, oh my god, actually, Wubby gets dismounted. He's gonna get chased. Stun is barely gonna miss because he was out of range. And that boss at the top, he's actually still walking on that keep here, G2. They left pretty early.
Yeah, as long as you know it doesn't kill the keep, it doesn't necessarily do anything after that.
Fnatic turn around here, they might want to go for the fights. They seem to be ready here. They're ready to throw down.
Good spread there by G2. Murden with potential flank, jumping on the high impact heroes at the back like Vala and Tyrande, slowing their attack speed.
This is actually very risky here for either team to try and go for a fight, but they're going to go for it anyway. Wubby gets jump on top of.
Gets divine shielded. And we see a Nubrak dropping very low. Breeze, Bro charging out there, taking a lot of damage, but Locust Swarm is healing him back up again. Wubby isolated against Joey on the Muradin. We're going to have to see Lunar Flare hits very nicely, and the Dwarf Toss was already used. She may be able to get away, but it's Lowell in the end. Gets isolated and gets taken down, and Muradin catches up. This is a full retreat, and this could be disastrous for Fnatic. 2 deaths on their side already. The keep is very low. This could be the beginning of the end.
Yeah, they've been going down so fast here, and in the end only 3 of them survive here. And behind this, I wouldn't be surprised if G2 here, they just went for a boss of their own, but actually they can't. They have to go for the tribute, because otherwise there's going to be a 3rd one here for Fnatic.
Whoa,
are they okay with this?
They're giving it up.
What? No, I mean, they sang backcheck with Eric.
Yeah, but...
so yeah, they're giving it up.
Yeah. Eric is not in range. They're actually going to go snipe this keep and then ride the boss to the enemy core. But they're not going to be level 20. They're going to be level 19.7 at best.
I mean, we're pretty late into the game here. 70th minute is level 19 against 18. This boss is going to be a pretty strong one, but they're cursed here right now. That top keep from G2 is actually going to go down from just those minions here across the map.
Yeah, but after that keep goes down, that's a foregone conclusion at this point. Nothing more will happen. The mid fort is being defended by Eric to a degree. The bottom keep and mid keep have too much of a buffer to go down because the forts are still alive. They're level 19.7 now, and they're pushing with the boss. 2 more waves and they're level 20. They're looking to end the game despite the curse. Yeah, what do you think about that decision?
That boss, actually, like I said, is going to be so strong. Muradin gets caught here, but he's going to be able to get out. And in this case, I think it might be enough, especially since they're closing in on level 20 here. G2 just looking to try and finish it. Hunter's Mark is going to come in really handy against this boss. Is it going to be enough, though? Fnatic fighting for survival here.
At this point, they could ignore the boss and take a straight-up fight. On the other hand, they can't because of the level differential. Level 20 here. Sonya jumping in, Hardened Shield, Strafe being used on Mena. Sonya's not taking a lot of damage. Core damage is being sustained. It's at 70% already. We go with the 7-sided strike. It will take down Sonya. Leo from Korea goes down. We've got 3 dead on the side of G2. Can they finish it off? It doesn't look like they'll have enough.
Wow, the Longboat Raid is going to be killed as well, and the Vikings will follow. Muradin seems to be trapped. I'm not sure he can make it out of there. And now surely, I mean, Fnatic, they're gonna want to go head across the map and try and finish the game themselves.
I mean, if Muradin could buy time and draw more people to follow him, maybe, but at this point he's the only defender. What Wabi is going to do is prevent him from hardstoning. She doesn't want to engage directly. She just wants him not to hardstone, which means 30 seconds. Only Bashek on payload. I mean, he does have splash damage, but I don't think it's enough to splash all of them to death. 20 seconds is the window that 4 heroes have to finish off the gamer. I think
that
that's
is
enough.
very short. I mean, yeah.
Do you think that's enough?
They're level 20. There is a good chance here they can finish it with a clutch snipe.
Still got Divine Shield on Casil. He can shield Vala, the highest damage dealer here. This is probably definitely going to be enough. I mean, they only need 70% more damage, 60%. Jaina's back, going to come in there. Leave my home alone. Strafe is being used. Casil soon with the Divine Shield on
the
Vala.
7-sided strike was used too far away here from Breeze. Leo from Korea with a huge mistake. Oh, used 7-sided strike next to the fountain, so it hit nobody.
But I mean, they still had a little bit of leeway.